The town of Hollow Creek was perpetually shrouded in mist. Cobblestone streets snaked through the town like veins. Above it all, the clock tower loomed. Its shadow stretched long and cold, a constant reminder of time's passage. Isaac, the clockmaker, was as much a fixture as the tower itself. His workshop, nestled beneath its shadow, hummed with the intricate workings of timepieces. Once laughter had filled the space, now only the rhythmic tick-tock remained, a symphony of solitude. Isaac had become a ghost, haunted by the memory of his late wife, Eleanor. A gust of wind rattled the workshop's windows. Rain lashed against the glass. Through the downpour, a figure emerged. Celeste, her eyes wide and bright, stepped into the warm glow of Isaac's workshop. She carried a tarnished silver pocket watch. Its intricate engravings were almost worn away by time. "I heard you could fix anything, Mr. Isaac," Celeste said, her voice a melodious counterpoint to the storm outside. "This watch, it's special." She handed it to him. Isaac's calloused fingers traced the inscription, "To Eleanor, forever yours." The inscription hit Isaac like a physical blow. His Eleanor. His breath caught in his throat. The air grew heavy, thick with a ghostly chill. He looked up, his eyes wide with disbelief. Celeste stood before him, but something flickered at the edge of his vision. A whisper, a sigh, a memory taking shape. Then as quickly as it appeared, it was gone. The pocket watch felt cold in his hand, unnaturally so. "Where did you get this?" Isaac asked, his voice hoarse. Celeste, oblivious to the spectral presence, explained about the antique shop, the shopkeeper's cryptic words about the watch being enchanted. Isaac, driven by a force he couldn't explain, agreed to repair the watch. He worked through the night, each tick of the clock a hammer blow against his heart. As dawn painted the sky in hues of grey and lavender, he placed the final gear. The watch sprang to life, and so did Eleanor. Her form shimmered, ethereal and beautiful beside him, but her eyes held a depth of sadness that chilled him to the bone. "Isaac," she breathed, her voice a mournful whisper, "you kept your promise." Isaac reached for her, a sob trapped in his throat. But his fingers passed through her spectral form. The woman he loved was gone, replaced by an echo bound to the watch. Eleanor's presence, at first a source of comfort, soon turned into a nightmare. The townsfolk whispered of strange happenings, ghostly apparitions, voices carried on the wind, objects moving inexplicably. Fear seeped through the cobbled streets like the ever-present fog. Celeste, initially skeptical, couldn't deny the truth. She saw the pain in Isaac's eyes, the way he looked at Eleanor with a love that bordered on despair. "She's not at peace," Celeste whispered one night, her hand resting on his arm. "She's trapped, Isaac, and it's getting worse." They discovered the terrible truth together. Each tick of the watch wasn't just keeping Eleanor tethered to the world. It was amplifying her emotions, twisting her love into a possessive obsession. She haunted Isaac's every waking moment, her spectral hand forever reaching, her voice a constant echo in the silence of his workshop. Isaac, consumed by guilt and grief, couldn't bring himself to sever the connection, but Celeste, with a heavy heart, saw the toll it was taking on him. "You can't keep her trapped like this, Isaac," she pleaded, her voice catching. "It's destroying you both." The climax came during the annual town festival. As fireworks painted the night sky, Eleanor's rage reached its peak. She towered over the terrified townsfolk, her spectral form now almost solid, her eyes blazing with an unnatural light. "He's mine!" she shrieked, her voice amplified by the ticking of the watch echoing through the square. "Mine forever!" Isaac, his heart breaking, knew what he had to do. He raced towards the clock tower, Celeste right behind him. Up the winding stairs they climbed, each step heavy with dread and the weight of inevitability. Eleanor awaited them at the top, her laughter echoing around them, laced with madness. In the heart of the clock tower, surrounded by the intricate gears and cogs that had been Isaac's life's work, the final confrontation unfolded. Eleanor lunged for Celeste, her spectral hand aimed like a weapon. Isaac reacted instinctively, throwing himself between them. "No!" he roared, his voice hoarse with despair. He knew what he had to do. In his hand he held the pocket watch, Eleanor's final connection to the world. With a sob he smashed it against the stone floor. The gears shattered, the ticking ceased. A blinding white light filled the tower, momentarily erasing all else. As the light faded, Eleanor's spectral form flickered, dissolving into 1,000 glowing particles that swirled around them like fireflies. "I loved you," she whispered, her voice fading into nothingness, even in the dark. Then she was gone. Only the faint scent of lavender remained, a bittersweet reminder of the woman she once was. Isaac stood there, the silence deafening. He looked at the shattered watch, then at Celeste, her eyes filled with tears. In that shared moment of grief and loss, a new kind of understanding passed between them. Love, they realized, could bind you as strongly in death as it did in life. And sometimes, letting go was the greatest act of love of all.